name's Shayne Cureton. I was on season one, Destination X, and we on Hollywood Junkie.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and get into the questions. Shane, I watched the episode last night. I was sweating, especially during that last game. Oh my gosh, edge of my seat. But I want to kind of get your thoughts on some things prior in the season as well. So I noticed that some of the players kind of stopped sharing, where they were placing their X's before they went into the map room. We did see that Jonah kind of got the wrong clue at one point. What are your thoughts on that? Why do you think now in the game later on, people have stopped sharing where they're going to place their X's?
That seemed like it would be natural. The agreement that we had within our alliance even was, hey, once we get to a point to where it's like mainly us, we gotta separate from this, and it's every man for themselves. But we just trying to get as far as we can. Um, Having half the people left on the bus being people that weren't in our alliance. I mean, I didn't expect any of them to share anything with us, anyways. When I shared what I had in this last challenge, with the understanding that Rick wasn't going to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of one of those things. I never trusted Rick from the beginning. Um, but if I could have used my clue to help potentially Biggie get more clues, then it's like, all right, I'll see. But then, situation happened, everybody divulged, and it got to Rick, and it was like, nah, nah. And it was like, bro, come on now. But I completely understand it at that point. This is a competition. We're in the semifinals. Like, that you spilling the beans to somebody could be the reason that you go home.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, speaking of kind of spilling the beans strategy, let's take it back to the showmance with Ally. How much of your strategy did she share? Do you think she shared? Can you tell us a little bit about that, or was it completely under wraps?
When it comes to just her strategies just in the game.
Like your strategy, like if
Oh
you were,
my.
yeah.
Okay, so we just because we know how showmances can get, we didn't want to be the typical. So it was like we had an understanding where you and Ty, you guys can do your thing. I don't feel pressure on needing, or I don't want to put pressure on you and feel like I need anything that you guys are talking about. But then on the other end, understand that it's me and Biggie, and I can't be sitting here telling you everything he's telling me, especially not knowing what's up with who you're connected to. You know what I'm saying? So that was already an understanding from day one.
That's valid, very valid. And speaking of the showmance, there's a major plot twist, which we love to see. And that's why you stayed quiet during the last interview. I love it. Ally and
Yeah.
Mack recently revealed that they're dating, which is great. How did you react when Ally told you the news?
Oh, I mean, I was like, okay, so first I knew she was dating somebody
Mhm.
in like February, March. Okay. So knew since then, didn't know it was Mac. Does that change anything? No. Find happiness where you find happiness.
Absolutely.
But it definitely kind of it floored me a little bit just because it's like I didn't even know that you were into girls, which by all means, like I said, if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But to not assume like this whole time that you told me you was dating somebody else, I'm thinking it's a dude. Like my questions are like, well, does he live in Austin? Because that was a big issue, us not living in the same place and me not wanting to uproot myself to move down there. Um, but I don't. Allie came here during the breakup. It was very, it was emotional, but I feel it was calm to a point. You know what I'm saying? I have already told her this, but I didn't feel she was in my life long enough to truly like rock it to where we can now, with this breakup, we can still be friends. You know what I'm saying? Which is, in my opinion, like the best. Like I would hate to lose Allie as a friend. Everything I said in my confessionals is true. I don't take any of it back. And I hope I'm glad that even, they've extended with everything that, did happen between me and Ally. They are still wanting to be cool with me. There's no awkward feelings. There's no weird. They don't think that I'm like plotting against them or anything like that. We've had enough conversations about it all. They're going to come here and do their under the covers with me. But yeah, I mean, I was just shocked, but I am with what I'm seeing. Like I'm happy for them. Like they both seem ecstatic to have found each other. I think they are good for each other. Allie's a little more head in the clouds, and Mac is definitely more grounded. So I feel like they can,
Good balance.
even each other out. Yeah, 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 for sure.
I love that. Absolutely. And another quick question about the showman. So being in a relationship on a bus, we know it's completely different, starting out that way. What things did you and Allie learn about each other during the showmance right away that would normally take longer for couples just outside of a bus situation?
I would say the biggest thing would be the ability to communicate.
Oh,
We were both, there was a situation with Peter that
yeah.
I had kind of peeped some things. I had thought that maybe she was kind of floating him info and things like that. So we kind of got into it, and that played a part of the little argument. But her communication style and the ability to de-escalate no
Mm.
matter what it was, because we had a little tiff in the castle. You know what I'm saying? And that was very quickly talked about, understood. We both move on. So I would
Absolutely.
say where it takes a lot of people a long time to really understand, yeah, understand somebody else's communication style in a tense moment. You know, that was huge.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that because, yeah, I know a lot of viewers are wondering, well, how is it different? Did they have to speed things up or so you just never really know. Couple more questions here for you while we have you here. Do you and Biggie still keep in touch? And
Yeah.
yeah, you do. Tell us
Uh-huh.
about that.
Mhm. So a lot of the things in the show were all part of the plan. That's why it seemed weird that Biggie kept choosing me and but was moving in certain ways. And the agreement that we had was I was his shield as long as he gave me the answers, and we're gonna rock that out until the wheels fall off. You feel me? So even during the dagger challenge,
Mhm.
I told him to give me one because I didn't know what was gonna happen with Allie if they try to overwhelm her and get, so I wanted to kind of make sure that the ground was always going to be somewhat even
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things. I would have, done that one a little different hindsight, knowing what's up, knowing that Biggie was going to end up choosing, which, thankful for it. Another thing, I'm his shield until the wheels fall off.
Of course.
So, but yeah, a lot of the strategy that people see was all part of our plan. There was even some distance in the show that we caused purposefully to make people feel like, oh, they're not messing with each other no more. Allie doesn't ruin that, this and that. Yeah. But
What?
that was part of the gameplay. And yeah, it worked.
It worked. Nice. Oh, I think it's frozen. Can you guys hear me? Okay, sorry, I think it froze. My apologies, but
It did. All good.
perfect. And then one last question for you. Had Biggie not gotten the card to move his ex closer by 50 miles, it would have been potentially a tie between you guys. What are your thoughts on that?
I would have felt bad, especially having him be basically my knowledge bank, and then I make it further than he does. That was really my big thing. Once they started attacking him, it was like, all right, now we just got to make sure he get through this because they were going to try to mess him up, get him out, and then only have to deal with me, which would have, I mean, come on now, both them against me, it wouldn't have been a great ending. So
I think you know, that you played a great game, and the final game of Russian roulette was up to chance. So,
Oh, for sure.
you did great, Shane. Thank you so much for all of your answers and for being so open. We cannot wait to see more of you, and I'll talk to you hopefully soon again, my friend.
All right, much appreciated.